Somebody Simtastic, back with more Guild Wars 2, and we're going to be doing a little newbie guide on unlocking skills. And so I just spontaneously went through and had it pick a character for me. So let's find out some about ourselves. We are a level 1 warrior, and beginning as a warrior, beginning as any class, you're going to start out with a weapon, but with the warrior, that's going to be a one-handed sword. Rawr, I am a fierce char. And yes, my name is Battle Tabby. I don't know if you saw that. And it's true that no matter what area you start in, I think I'm actually at the lowest settings right now because I was in World versus World, but I'm not sure. You can check those. Nope. It seems I'm actually at the auto detect. So you're going to have a low frame rate in the beginning area because you're going to have a low frame rate anywhere where there's a whole lot of spawns. And the way that you unlock skills is by attacking things, and so you may see, well, it's more specifically by killing things. So your first skill, that if you do damage to an enemy and it dies, then your first skill is going to unlock very quickly. I guess you'd say your second skill, your skill 2. And so then you immediately have access to a second skill that you can immediately use. And you don't have to actually use skill 2 to unlock skill 3. Again, just getting kills will unlock skill 3. And that progression is going to be slower as it goes up to each skill. Like skill 4 takes longer than skill 3, skill 5 takes the longest, and there's a whole collection of different weapons that you can choose from with each character, and I will link to a page that oh, getting snagged on stuff, that shows what those are for each class. There's a pretty straightforward flow chart. So for example, with the warrior, you'd be looking at the ability to use an axe, a mace, or a sword on your main hand, and for your offhand you can use an axe, a mace, a shield, or a sword, or a war horn. And then for two-handed you've got greatsword, hammer, longbow, and rifle, and then for underwater weapons you can use either the spear or the harpoon gun. So you've got a lot of weapon options with the warrior, which means there's a lot of different skills to unlock. And one of the ways that you can do that, I think it's pretty easy to unlock skills if you participate in dynamic events. And so there we've got our third skill unlocked. Unfortunately, we haven't picked up any new special weapons, and you probably won't until you complete the first area. But this is a good place that you can start learning your down skills. Let's see if we can pull that one off. So apparently it's hard to even get downed, but something to keep in mind is that in the starting area, it is literally impossible to die. You can't do it. So as you go into your down state, you can take a look at your skills here, and if you attack a creature, if you finish off somebody while you're in your down state, it will rally you, which means you'll get back up, and if this bar runs all the way down, then you'll go into a defeated mode. And so this is just a good place in your starting area to take a look at what these different skills are and what they do. So let's say Vengeance is something that will hop you back up, but after a time it will kill you. And I actually really hate this skill, mostly because other people misuse it. I'll run over to pull them up off the ground and they'll use Vengeance and then almost seal the deal that they're going to be defeated. So let's see as it wears off. There we go. But because we're in the starting area, you don't die at all, ever. So you can use that to your advantage. And he's reviving me. Good stuff. Oh, he changed his mind. Alright, but you can use this fourth skill to revive you. Basically, you're going to have an attack, then you're going to have 2 special skills, and then you're going to have a fourth skill that's good for reviving. And so that's those. You have nothing to unlock with those. But you do have further skills to unlock down the line, and we'll take a moment to talk about those. Alright, here we are on a level 8 character, and I've done a little bit more running around with this than just the starting area. And at level 5, you gain access to your first utility skill. So that would be how you go about unlocking those. You use skill points to unlock your utility skills, of which I currently have 4. So we can actually unlock a couple right now. And as you get to this, you're going to see that you've got a whole set of tier 2 and tier 3 utility skills, and so you have to unlock 5 of these utility skills in order to start unlocking these. Each of these costs 1, each of these costs 3, and each of these costs 5 points. Once you reach level 30, then you'll have access to these utility skills, or sorry, these elite skills, and these each cost 10, and then after you've unlocked 2 of those, then you have access to the ones that each cost 30. So I managed to unlock every single one of these skills before reaching level 80 because I went and farmed the skill challenges, and those skill challenges look like this. This is a completed skill point challenge, and over here this is an example of one that is not yet completed. So you can spot those and go do them, and some are harder than others. There are essentially 3 types of those. There's the kind where you commune with the spot, and just sitting there communing with it will gain you your skill point, and that communing gets interrupted if you take damage. So a lot of times you'll have monsters and things that pop around, those veteran monsters that you have to pick off in order to be able to safely commune with that. Though in a large group, a lot of times you can get away with communing before that. Before you've actually taken out the monster. There's the kind where you have to defeat an enemy, and a lot of those are going to be like fighting somebody in the town. You'll show up in a new outpost and you'll say, hey, I want that skill point, and they're like, you gotta fight me for it, and so you beat them and you get your skill point. Some of those are going to be like a difficult enemy, and usually 2 little buddies that they bring along, and you have to defeat all 3 of those. And then there's also the ones that that you just talk to that don't require you fighting anything, and some of those will give you an item that you use that item and you gain the skill point, and some of them you just like choose whether or not you feel like reading the text, which I tend to because there are so few times that they actually give you a wall of text in this game. I think it's good to just read it when they do. So those are essentially the 3 different types of skill challenges. So you're not going to come up with anything that's too crazy or outside of that. So as I said, you unlock this first utility skill slot at level 5, and then you unlock this one at level 10, and you unlock this one at level 20, and then at level 30, that's when you gain access to your elite skill. Before that, though, if you go to those skill challenges, you can start picking up skill points before you reach level 5, and you can use those to, not on the map, but actually on the hero window, to unlock your healing skills. And so the way that you unlock skills is you click on them, and then you confirm.
That's an improvement.
So let's go ahead and unlock a couple of those because these are fun. I like the signets because they give you passive abilities, but later on I ended up not using them with
a different way.
Bing, there we go, we got those 5. I ended up not using them with my necromancer as much. So now you can see you've got access to the next tier, which all of those cost 3. And you can continue buying up these if you feel like it, or once you start saving up skill points, you can purchase those. So starting at level 5, you get a skill point every single time that you level, and you can also get them from those skill challenges, which enables you to unlock these. Now your weapon skills, you can actually just take a look at on your hero window. You go to skills and traits, and you go to weapon skills, and you can see what weapons you've managed to unlock the skills on, so that you can kind of get an idea of where you need to spend time on that. And so consider picking up a weapon just to unlock these skills as early on as possible, because the worst thing is when you realize that you're in combat and you don't have all of your skills unlocked. It can make it really difficult, especially when you go into underwater combat. Make sure you go in a relatively early area and fight some stuff underwater and unlock a few of these skills, because the first time you actually have to do underwater combat, if you're just dealing with skill 1, you can end up in a world of hurt. Also keep in mind that at level 7 you gain access to weapon swapping, and if you're out of combat then you can swap your weapons as many times as you'd like. If you're in combat, then it actually has a cooldown timer on there that you have to pay attention to. One of the really nice things about that is that if you've got a set of weapons that you have that you enjoy, that you've unlocked all the skills for, then you can take whatever weapons you have that you haven't finished unlocking skills on, and you can set that to your second set. And that way you can go into combat with that, and if you end up in a bit of a dicey situation that's a little outside of what you're able to handle with like skills 1 and 2, you can switch back to your other weapons and take care of that very quickly. So you can also make 2 MOAs mad at the same time. The Thief is actually a really fun class to play. I have to say I recommend it if you enjoy running around like a maniac. It's pretty cool. So anyway, that's that. Weapon swapping is fun. Oh yeah. Keep in mind that engineers and elementalists do not have access to weapon swapping. Engineers have kits, which do not require weapon skill unlocks, and the elementalists have attunement switching, which however does require skill unlocks. So if you've got the elementalist, make sure that with each weapon that you get, you switch your attunements out and unlock all the skills in each of those attunements. It's really, really fun to be able to swap between all of those and lay the smack down once you've got those unlocked. But also keep in mind that the elementalist is a glass cannon. So that's about all there is about that. Obviously, learning to use your weapon skills is a little bit more complex than just unlocking them, but I think it's a pretty good system that allows you to sort of pace yourself at how you try to take in all that information, and I enjoy it. So I hope that this video has helped you with understanding how weapon and skill unlocks function. And if so, then please click like and consider subscribing to my channel and telling all of your noob friends about it as well. And on that note, you will see me later. Wave at the camera, you idiot.